listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 898 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's July 27th, 2026. This morning I'm enjoying a fresh cup of light Ethiopian from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10. That's LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club for even more awesome perks. We'll talk a little bit more about coffee in a second here. Today, I've got another full show. We'll talk about the latest progress clearing the future solar field and whether the new log ox actually lives up to the hype, why suddenly every commercial seems different this election season, the latest government absurdity involving sheep drinking from a pond, and a couple of new videos, including a brand new content series I'm kicking off. Grab your coffee, smash that like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Pip in early. Good morning, humans, and happy Monday to you also, Pip. Thanks for stopping in, as always. And Hunter, good morning over there on Twitch. The sole Twitch viewer. Every once in a while, we'll get a spammer that rolls through. But we'll keep that Twitch feed open just for Hunter. You're welcome. Good morning, Mike Homestead. Thanks for popping in. A little bit of a rushed morning this morning. Still gathering my faculties, I guess is what you'd call it. Good morning, Rewilder Life. Thanks for stopping in, and I'm glad you made it. I saw you over in the Telegram group talking about you're trying not to get distracted. We can set an alarm for you to make sure you make it. Pip says he's having a cup of Food Forest Farms Brian's blend. Nice. Brian's blend is a fantastic bean blend. I guess it's not just a bean; it's a blend. Thus, Brian's blend. Rough morning. Rough morning. I love my AeroPress. I absolutely love it. I use it every day. I make 2 AeroPresses in the morning, and make basically Americanos in some stainless steel mugs. I make a concentrate with the AeroPress, put it in the stainless steel mug, and then top it with hot water. 99.9% of the time it goes without a hitch. Absolutely no problem. Love it. Works great. Makes an awesome cup of coffee. Really consistent. But there's that one time in every 100 that just there's a hiccup, and when it goes sideways with the AeroPress, it goes sideways. And there's a couple of different things that have happened, but this morning the filter and I use the AeroPress. If you've ever used one, you usually, or the way the instructions, the way it was intended, I guess, to be used, is you set the case of the body of the AeroPress on the top of the cup, and you have the bottom and the filter all installed, and then you put the coffee in, you pour the water in, you put the plunger in the top. I found that I saw somebody over on Noster had a long time ago had said, do it inverted. Put the plunger in and the body of the AeroPress and set them on top of each other and pour the coffee in and then pour the water in, and it mixes it up. And then you put the filter and the cap on, flip it over, and it mixes the coffee and the water even better. And then you set it on your cup and do the AeroPress thing like normal. Well, this morning the filter creased as I was screwing it on. So I put the coffee in, put the water in, go to put the filter on, and I usually just get the filter a little wet in the filter cover, and it sticks in there fine. Like I said, 99 out of 100 times. And of course, this morning it creased a little bit, and I flipped it over, I put it on the cup, and it just drained straight through all the grinds, all the water, everything right into the cup. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, it happens. I get it, whatever, but it just didn't need to happen on fucking Monday when I was against a time deadline. Usually, I can absorb that no problem into my morning. Obviously it didn't take that long. I made it in time for the show, but yeah, that was this morning. But AeroPress, even though like 1 out of 100 times it goes sideways, and it's not even that big of a deal, but when it happens on a time deadline day, it was a little frustrating. But that AeroPress works great. It makes a fantastic cup. Also wanted to talk about a little bit about the C4 Club sale Brian has going on. I was thinking about it a little bit this weekend while I was having my coffee in the morning, and I just don't think you can find a better deal on giving premium air roasted coffee a try. Brian's prices on just one-off bags. Let's start with one-off bags. You go to foodforestfarms.com and you want to order some coffee. It's premium air roasted coffee. Brian selects the finest beans he can find. He's very particular about the beans he brings in. He roasts it in small micro batches. Fresh goes right out after you order it. It gets roasted. It goes out. And the price for that, if you've ever priced premium coffee, premium micro batch coffee, it's expensive. It's really expensive. And Brian's prices are low. And shipping's included in those prices. You get free priority mail shipping. And so that's just a one-off, and then you can get 10% off using my code, but to save a little bit. Where the savings start with Food Forest Farms even more is if you join the C4 Club, and that drops the price. I think it's like $10 a pound, basically, down into the lower 20s. It's two pounds for a minimum, 2 pounds minimum for a month, and it's $45, and you say $45, that's holy shit. That's 22. What is that? $22.50 a pound is not bad at all for the quality of coffee that Brian's putting out. But the thing that shocked me this weekend when I was having my coffee was with his new sale he's got going on, the second month free sale with the C4 Club. Basically, you're getting 4 pounds of coffee of this fantastic coffee at, what is that, 11 and a quarter a pound? 11 and a quarter a pound for what Brian makes is an absolute steal. And yeah, I mean, you're gonna try it, you're gonna love it, you're gonna keep going with the club at the 2 pounds for $45 a month. But that first 4 months, that first 4 pounds at $11.25 a pound is just an absolute steal. I suggest you check it out. Head on over to foodforestfarms.com, and even if you just give it a try, it'll change your life. It's different than definitely different than Folgers, and better than the majority of even premium coffees that I've had in my life. So I suggest it. I'd recommend it. I've been a member for a long time now, and that's really all I want to drink. But anyway, this light Ethiopian this week is pretty spot on. So yeah, just happened to be thinking about that this weekend. I want to share with you guys. Let's get to that Bitcoin guessing game. Let's get to the Bitcoin guessing game. Sorry, guys, I was chuckling. I've been looking at this price all morning, and it has not moved, and now it has. So anyway, let's get to that Bitcoin guessing game contest. 610, a little later today, 610 on July 27th, 2026. July 27th, 2026, now 6:11 a.m. Bitcoin price is $65,228. $65,228. It was a close one this week, guys. Let's get to the guesses that weren't that close. Blueberry, Texas, in with a guess, 67,324. Oh yeah, and my standing guess up there, 84,321. That's not even close yet. We'll get there eventually. I'm just leaving it until we hit that 80, that mid 80s again. Palm Tree in with a guess of $66,666.66. Oof, nope, no luck. Pip with going for 3 in a row. It wasn't quite close enough. 66,320 and 55 cents. Scrambling in with the guess of 66,125. Canadian Farmstead in with the guess of 64,800. Getting better, Canadian. Getting better, Canadian. And the two that were super close today, John Palmer in with the guess of $65,432.10. That was close. That was 200 and about 200, just over $200 off. But Thesia Ellis, the Bitcoin Oracle over there in the Telegram group, she's just nailing it left and right. Between her and Pip, we should just start a prediction business. Thesia in with the guess of 65,200, $28 off. $28 off this week, folks. Thesia over in the Telegram group. If you, I think just got some social media going on around YouTube and Facebook. This Grandma's Life, if you want to check it out. But Thesia over in the Telegram group, one of our longtime members, in with awesome guests this week. $28 off. Congratulations, Thesia. We'll get you your prize in the mail right away, and hopefully you just keep this streak going, and maybe we could figure out a way to harness Thesia's Bitcoin knowledge and put that to work. But anyway, if you want to participate in the Bitcoin price guessing game for next week, you can head on over to the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. That's t.me/lotschat. It'll be pinned up at the top here a few hours after the show. All you got to do is reply to that pinned message with your guess for next week. Pip throws out the round of golf claps. That will be for August 3rd, 2026. So, Bitcoin guessing game contest. Brought to you by, I don't know, it's not brought to you by really anybody, but Blockstream Jade. Pick one up. Link is in the video description and the audio description. A couple of things I have. I got a whole lot of random stuff here on my list. I popped back on Nostr the other day. Big time on using Nostr for quite a while, a ways back, and it got full with nonsense. Basically, the content feed there was pretty solid. Even when I was starting and using it quite a bit, I emphasized the fact that if you're going to go there isn't an algorithm to feed you things. You have to go out and seek the things you want to see. And at some point, I got lazy, like we do with social media, and it just used to the app or the platform feeding you what you want to see or what they want you to see, and you just consume it. And my feed kind of changed over there, and I don't know if it was a fact of it changing or life got busy or I just stopped clicking, just stopped opening it. But at one point I stopped going there. And it was for a couple months, and then I popped it back open, and my feed had completely changed. And it had kind of deteriorated into stuff I just didn't want to see. It was a lot of doom and gloom Bitcoin news because we're in a bear market and things like that, and a lot of the non-Bitcoin stuff had kind of dried up. I think that happened a couple more times, and then this weekend I accidentally clicked on Amethyst on my phone. I was going to click on something else actually next to it. My thumb hit it, and it opened up, and I was like, maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know. And so I started scrolling through my feed, and I was like, this is kind of, and then I saw a couple of non-Bitcoin posts, a couple of off-grid posts, people that I follow, and I was like, I preached to everyone else that you have to put in the work to make it worth it. But when you did, and you found the people that you wanted to, you were rewarded with being able to see the content that you actually wanted to see. So I took a few minutes and I kind of did some searching on by hashtags. I found some new people that I hadn't followed before. And I made a post. I threw up a note over there and was like, it's been a while. I'm going to try to make this a habit again. And so yesterday was the second day in a row that I posted in the morning, and just going on in the morning and making a simple post and rebuilding that habit of opening that app instead of Facebook or X or whatever, TikTok. And so I'm trying to build that repetition of opening it up again and using it, spending some time looking for new accounts, interacting, putting posts out there. And one of the things I noticed yesterday, so later in the afternoon, I was back on and I noticed that I got a little bit of interaction on just my post saying, hey, second day in a row, enjoying my coffee, trying to build a habit, blah, blah, blah. It was just a simple, stupid little post. And I had gotten some interaction. Well, contrary to that, I had been doing some pushing on Facebook with the Lots page and doing some posting a lot of reels and posting in some groups and trying to spur that page. And so I had been watching interactions and things like that. They had likes and shares and whatnot. And to see the comparison with the number of people on Nostr, the number of people that follow me on Nostr, to see the comparison of how much interaction there was compared to the posts I'm putting on Facebook, where supposedly there's a couple thousand people that follow my page. So you would think that a couple thousand people would see the posts that I put out since they chose to follow it and wanted to see the content. It was night and day difference over on Nostr. And so I was like, I'm interested to see. And so I had posted a while back when we finished drying in the cabin. I had posted 4 pictures of the cabin, and I got a couple likes on Facebook, and that was between my page and my personal side on Facebook. I think we got a couple dozen or maybe half a dozen likes on it. I could probably go back and look at actually the impressions and stuff like that. So I was curious, and I posted the 4 pictures on Nostr again, and just a little blurb, just like I put on Facebook about getting the cabin dried in. Now it's time to work on the inside and the solar array. And I didn't even use any hashtags on Nostr, which is kind of important because that's how people search and find content. And ended up with, I don't know, it was like pushing 30 as of this morning. So it's been less than 12 hours. It's like 30 likes and a half a dozen shares, a bunch of zaps. And I was like, interesting. The same exact content put in front of people that have chose to see it, as opposed to who Facebook was feeding it to, actually the returns, the interaction returns the appreciation of the stuff you're making. So I don't know, just a slight observation from one day or a couple days back on using Nostr. And I think I'm gonna try to put some time into it. I really once I started getting back into the content that I chose to see there, and finding more of the non Bitcoin doom and gloom stuff that had kind of consumed it. It's really good during the bull runs. During the bear runs, everybody wants to cry about the price. But yeah, I think it's a better place. I think it's a better, it's just a better aura of interaction and people and content. So I might try to shy away from Facebook a little bit here and go over where content's appreciated and the people that choose to see it or want to see it actually see what you post. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Facebook is kind of beating me down at the moment. So that was just a note I had here at the top and I thought I would share. Get on to the cabin cabin update for the week. It was another hot week. And when we had a cool off, but ended up having other things to take care of on the cool days. And but struggled through some heat, struggled through some stupid humidity and stupid hot days to do some more clearing. I'm basically prepping to drop some more trees. If you've been following along the last few weeks, I've been clearing up the 8 trees, I think it is, that I dropped. Basically had to fix a wood chipper, got the wood chipper there, chipped up all the brush, and limbed out everything. And now I was to the point where I was cutting up the trunks. I had ordered up a log ox. Log ox, I don't know. I got a link down in the video description, but the Log Ox 3-in-1 forestry tool. Basically, it's a cant. If you know what that is to roll logs to. It's a hook with a handle, and you can hook it on the log and roll the logs. I put the picture up the other day. I don't know if I still have it, but then the other function is a timber jack, basically a foot on there that you can use that cant like you're going to roll the log over. There's a picture. Roll the log over, and when it rolls up, the log sits up in the air. So if you've ever chopped up logs, like tree trunks on the ground, if you get to you want to go all the way through the log, you're going to run your chain into the dirt, and as soon as it hits the dirt, it gets dull very, very quickly. Hit a rock and it's dull instantly. This gets that log up in the air and allows you to buck that off without having to roll it over, not having to run your saw into the dirt. But it also, with that cant, it gives you an option to do half cuts, like cut halfway through. In a few places, use the cant, roll it over, and finish off the cut from the other side. And then the other feature is you take that extension handle off, and it's a log carrier. Basically, it's a gravity hook, if you know what that is, but a gravity hook that has a nice firm wooden handle on it, and it saves you from bending over. It saves your back a little bit, saves your shoulders, saves you from tearing up your arms carrying logs under your arms, and it works well, guys. I used the shit out of it this week, and had a lot of opportunity to use it, and it works really well. It gives you plenty of leverage. I wasn't doing logs that were extremely large. I would say they were in the smaller to mid range, as far as trees go. So it was stuff that was probably a little bigger than I was going to roll by hand, but not like just absolutely enormous. It worked well to roll it. It worked well. The timber jack worked as advertised. It got it up in the air. I was able to slice it off. Chain stayed really sharp the whole day. And then using the handle, the carrier, was, man, it was really nice. It was nice. No more bending over to pick up those logs. And the only thing I wish I had two. It's a lot of trips up and down the hill with one. I think this is more intended for maybe picking up, throwing into the bucket of a skid steer or onto a trailer. Or they do tout the fact that it's really nice to use to pick up to put onto a log splitter. I'm using it to pick up the logs to carry up the hill to put to a spot where I'm going to split the stuff. I wish I had two. It just makes twice the trips with only one, but it is what it is, and it's $300 fucking dollars, and I'm not in the market to buy two at this moment. I got other things to spend the other $300 on. I'll make the extra trips up and down the hill, but basically use the crap out of it. I think it was well worth the money. I mean, just for the few days that I have into using it, It's gonna last a long time. It's really well made. Taking a look at it, kind of feeling it. It is like 13 pounds with when it's all in with the handle and the timberjack. So it's got some weight to it, but not too much that it really deters from the usefulness of the product. So I'm glad I picked it up. I like I said, I think it's going to last a long time. I think I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. I got plenty of trees to cut down for this project and other projects. Plenty of stuff to clean up around the property, and always going to be messing around with dealing with firewood and things like that. So I think it's great. If you got firewood to deal with, if you got logs and clearing, if you do that type of thing, I think it's a great buy. So check it out. The link's down in the description. Appreciate it if you use my link. I'll earn a little cash if you do. But yeah, that's the Log Ox. As far as getting the property cleared, I got good morning, Martinson family. Thanks for popping in. I got a lot of it cleaned up. Like I said, it was stupid hot and humid, and I was carrying that stuff up and down the hill, carrying it up the hill, and then walking back down the hill to grab more pieces to walk up the hill. I still got a little bit to clean up, and then I'll be dropping more trees and starting the process over again. So hopefully one more, probably 2 more cycles of dropping trees, cleaning, bucking them up, limbing them up, cleaning up the brush, cleaning up the limbs, and then cleaning up the trunks. And I think 2 more rounds. I don't think I can get them all done. The issue is they're going to pile up like matchsticks. So I have to selectively drop certain trees, and I don't think I can get all of them down that I need to take down in one shot. I think I got 2 more shots. I think I got 2 more rounds. So unfortunately, the whole process will start again here and go through it. But it looks like in the forecast that the temperature is going to be coming down a little bit. Last night was stupid hot. It was nice. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we had some storms push in, and yesterday it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I was like, oh man, it's another one of these days. And man, it was like 9 o'clock, I think, when I went to take the dogs out, and I walked outside. I was like, oh my god, this is just gross. It didn't cool off at all. I went out to relieve myself after the dogs, and I was just standing there, and I started sweating. I was like, wait, I'm just standing here. I'm not even moving, not even doing anything. Goddamn cat. Hey, Corey, can you grab that bucket? Does anybody want a cat? Not even free to a good home. I'd probably pay somebody to take this thing. So anyway, stupid hot, and I think it's going to be through another 4 or 5 days, and then it's going to cool off again, and cool off into the upper 80s. And I think we might be able to work on the flooring, and I think temperature is going to come down enough that we'll be able to use that adhesive on the floor. So that's cabin update. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff, just a lot of manual labor, a lot of sweat, and getting to use the Log Ox, which was good. So let's see what is next on the list. I wanted to mention my friend Eric. He's not in this community really, as a buddy that I knew kind of before all of this back in the early 2000s. My buddy Eric just launched a book, published a book, I guess, and you guys might be interested in reading it. Eric was a bounty hunter out in Colorado. He did it for a long time. He was a private investigator. He did a bunch of other security and other jobs like that. But for the bulk of his career, he was a bondsman, a bonds recovery agent, a bounty hunter. He was on he was on the show. He was on Dog the Bounty Hunter a couple times. He actually was a bond agent for one of the bond bail bondsmen that Dog worked for in Colorado. So when he would come back to Colorado, Eric would end up on his show. But from behind the scenes, the show is nothing like real life. Eric, over his career, has experienced a lot of things, has kind of has contemplated and learned a lot of things, and he decided to write a book. And it came out. Eric's description says it's not reality TV version of bounty hunting. It's the real one. The decisions, the close calls, the tolls it takes, and what I actually learned doing the job for a living. If you've ever asked what bounty hunting is really like, this is an honest answer. Eric's a good dude. He was a good friend and known him for a long time. So if you're interested in bounty hunting and what it was like for him, I'll put the link here in the video description and the audio description. I'll drop it in the comments of the live. Check out Eric's book. Pick it up over on Amazon. I didn't even grab an Amazon affiliate link or anything for to earn on this. This is just my my pro bono promotion for a buddy. Check out his book if you're interested. I haven't read it. It just came out yesterday, but Eric's friend, and I think it'd be good. I think it was good to send that out and let people see that if you're interested in what the real life behind the scenes of a bounty hunter is. And Eric tells a good story, so I can only imagine that the book is well written and a good read. So check it out. I probably will too. So I guess it's available in hardcover, softback, and Kindle at the moment. So just a FYI there. Next on the list, though, let's talk about sheep. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about this story. It was basically a video. Michael Sparks, a listener, a member in the community there, and I follow him on Facebook, and he posted this video. And I watched the video, and I was just like shaking my head the whole time. And the end of the video, actually, there was a little bit of redemption, but I wanted to talk about it. And it's just absurd, the absurdity of why it was even in court. And it might have been court. It might have been a county meeting. It really didn't say. And you could tell the video was edited up. It wasn't like just a raw video of this hearing. But basically what happened was there was a guy, and I couldn't even track down what state it was. I have a feeling I could guess a few guesses and probably get it right. But a rancher had 60 acres of property. Had been in his family since the 50s, I believe he said, with a flock of 30 sheep on it. There was a pond completely enclosed in his property. So little settling pond, not on the edge of the property, not bordering the property, no stream in or out of it. It's probably spring fed or rainwater fed. And for the whole time that he's been there, and his father's been there, and his grandfather's been there, their flock of sheep that they would raise would walk down into the pasture, go down to the field, go down to the pond, and drink out of the pond, like animals will do. Weird, there's water and I'm thirsty. I'm going to go get a drink of the water in the pond. Well, the gentleman got a fine in the mail from the county water commissioner for $9,000 for unpermitted access to natural water for livestock purposes. Basically, the county was saying that they owned the pond, the water in the pond, that he needed a permit to allow his livestock to drink the water out of the pond, and that because he didn't have this permit and he wasn't paying them for access to the water that they own somehow, that he owed him $9,000. And legitimately straight-faced, the county inspector, county water board guy sat there and legitimately tried straight faced to explain that this gentleman needed to pay to have his sheep take a drink out of the water in the pond on his property. And I was just getting angry listening to it. It was just more useless government bullshit. But I was watching it going, this is where we're headed. Like, I guess not where we're headed, where we already are in some points. And fortunately, I kept watching the video instead of just getting angry and turning it off. I kept watching the video, and when the judge, I believe he was a judge, he was in a black robe, or whoever was in charge of this hearing, when it was his turn to kind of make a ruling and talk about what happened, he was pretty funny about it. He said, so these sheep, this guy's owned this property, and he's got a pond on private property, and he's got sheep in that private property, and when they're thirsty, they walk down to the edge of the pond and lower their head and take a sip of water out of the pond. And you think that he needs to pay you for the right for his animals to do this? And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. And then he further went on to say, so should he have to pay you for all the frogs and birds and other wildlife that's drinking out of this pond also? Or are they allowed to do it for free? And I just chuckled some more and was like, oh, okay, well, at least some judge somewhere is with it enough to see the absurdity in the fact that this county commissioner who dead straight faced and legitimately thought that this guy needed to get a permit for the sheep to drink out of his pond, not pump it out of the pond, not like pump it out of the pond and up to a watering trough, which he should be able to do anyway, in my opinion, but literally just walking down to the edge and sticking their head in it and drinking. At least there was a judge out there that had the sense to make fun of this guy and point out the total absurdity of the fact that they were going to make him get a permit for the use of this water. So keep an eye on what's going on in your local government, guys, and your local county commissions and all of that bullshit, because this stuff is not going anywhere. And I have no opinion. I'm not in the data center wars at the moment. I don't give a flying fuck enough to dig into it. But one side screaming that all the water is going to be gone and this stuff is going to become more prevalent if that actually is the case. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I being in from an industrial background and seeing industrial cooling, I have a feeling that there's going to be way more efficient and cost-effective ways to cool data centers than pumping millions of gallons of groundwater to do it. That's just me, but got to start somewhere. It is what it is. I'm not in that debate really, because I just don't find the need to dig in and wade through all the bullshit to get to the actual facts of the matter. I don't take anybody's side on that one. Not pro or whoa. Sorry about that. My hard drive cord. I got this little external hard drive on my crappy little computer here, and I think the cord might be getting frayed or something. And when I bump it, it like reboots the drive, and I think it just happened. So anyway, so yeah, keep an eye out for the water police in your area. They own everything. You'll own nothing and you'll like it. Another observation from this past week, if you listen for a while, you know that I was talking about Tubi and the commercials Corey and I were seeing when we were watching MasterChef on Tubi. So we were getting all the ads for the slot machine games on your phone, and how you could basically make a living playing slot machine games on your phone. But in the next breath, they were like, maximum win $300. And it was quite funny. But incessant, like every commercial break was like 3 or 4 of these really low budget. You could really tell that they were AI produced casino slot machine game commercials. We finished watching MasterChef, and so we moved on to another Gordon Ramsay show, which is pretty decent. It was called Next Level Chef. More recent show. MasterChef was, I mean, I think that was from the early 2000s, so we're watching old school stuff. But this new Next Level Chef is a newer show. And as soon as we switched shows, the advertising changed, and it really makes sense. It wasn't like lost on me that it was a newer show that advertisers probably had to pay more money to get their products or their commercials on. And so it by default would be a different type of commercial that was on there. So the free casino games from your phone didn't have the budget to advertise on these, and they like disappeared. Pip says the dealership customer service lounge TV has those app commercials all the damn time. I can imagine. They probably do a pretty good stroke of business in a waiting lounge. But anyway, so the whole tone of the commercials changed, and it went to, it went to more so national chains like Little Caesars and McDonald's and all of the stuff that I recall seeing on normal TV, like when we had TV. Like, fuck, man. I think the last time we haven't had cable or satellite TV in over 12 years. I think it was probably 13 years ago when we got rid of cable, and then we were using antenna TV. And then when we moved to the farm, all we've had since then was like Amazon Prime. We don't get it for the TV, but TV comes with it, so we use it. We've had Netflix here and there, and then the free stuff that's on the TV. So yeah, from what I recall back in 2013, 2012, maybe, when we had satellite, these were the type of commercials that were on there. Was fast food and things like that. Still a large amount of fat pills and fat shots. The GLP-1s, just constant, and then the other drugs that are for things that like 0.1% of the population has, and I really just can't wrap my head around that anymore. Is why they're spending so much money to advertise a drug that 0.1% of the population actually has the ailment that the drug fixes. I can't figure that out. But anyway, if that 0.1 person out of 100 actually sees the commercial and is looking for treatment, at least they've seen the commercial a couple dozen times. But anyway, for a long time, I shouldn't say long time, it was a week or so, no political ads. And then all of a sudden, one day, and they're obviously missing their target market with Corey and I, but bam, political ads. 2 of them for local Tennessee folks. One was Marsha Blackburn running for governor here in Tennessee. She's a twit and a half. Basically saw her online commercial a few weeks ago with her smashing Chinese fortune cookies, saying that she's going to go after all the commies. This is the lady that's in the lead for the governor of Tennessee. She's going to hunt down the commies and get rid of all the Chinese commies. And in her commercial, she's in a Chinese restaurant smashing fortune cookies on the table with her little punchlines of "We're going to hunt down the commies" was on the fortunes. It was pretty cringy. But this one, The political ad that's on the commercials right now is even more just obnoxious. It's if she thinks this is the biggest issue in Tennessee, then we got something. But she just it runs. I think it's every commercial break or 2 out of 3 commercial breaks. This thing fucking runs, and she's talking about getting cell phones out of the schools, and that was one of her big achievements as a senator, that she fought big tech to protect kids, and now Rewild Life says, okay. Okay, you have to admit it's a funny way to advertise yourself. I mean, I guess. And it probably resonates with the folks here in Tennessee. But this one that's on TV right now is it's about getting cell phones out of the schools. And I'm like, this is just on constantly. She must have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for this ad campaign, and this is the only commercial we're seeing. And I'm like, it just makes me cringe when I see it. First of all, her eyes are fucked up. There's something wrong with her eyes. Corey said maybe it's the angle of the camera. Maybe her makeup isn't even. Maybe one of her eyes is bigger than the others. I'm not sure what the deal is on that, but it just bothers me. But she's got this little fucking catchphrase, and I guess it worked because I'm talking about it and it's stuck in my head. But she's just like, she's talking about it. She's like, and what we're gonna do is bell to bell, no cell. And I'm like, what the fuck? Pip said she's a lizard. She might be a lizard person. She might be a lizard person. I don't know. It's just obnoxious. She's like, no more posting, no more scrolling. We're gonna get cell phone in Tennessee schools. We're gonna be learning. Corey chimed in earlier yesterday. She's like, well, they haven't been doing that so far. Since, if you don't know, Tennessee schools aren't that fucking great. I don't think it's the cell phones. But anyway, constantly seeing this commercial, I'm like, why am I seeing this? And then another one was some dude he might be running for her seat, that if she wins, she's going to be not in anymore. I don't know. I don't even know what he's running for, but some other dude in Tennessee running, and the commercial is all about how Trump supports him. So I guess you throw your cards out there and you hope that more people like Trump than don't like Trump, and because you're hitching your horse to him with the commercial they made. Rualdo Life says, no kidding, we have an 80-year-old guy running for governor who dyed his hair red, like natural ginger red, like a normal redhead from Ireland or someplace would have, or like stupid, obnoxious, not natural colored red. That old lady, she's got to be a cartoon character. That's I think she's in the House of Representatives, that has the purple hair. Oh, it's ginger, but it's weird. The purple-haired cartoon character from the House right now, she's something else. Every time I see her, I just shake my head and I said, this is what our world's coming to. I don't know what her name is. I don't pay enough attention to it to know that. Pip says, I wonder if Spirko would have the AK guy, Brandon Herrera, as a guest, considering Brandon's running for Congress. I don't know. I would interview the hell out of Thomas Massey. I mean, he's getting out. They pushed him out, but I don't have any problem with if the guy's principled and he's going to go and do a job that he says he's going to do, instead of getting there and doing what he wants to do. I got more power to you. I think Massey was was pretty decent dude, and I respect everything he's doing in his personal life. So I would interview him. I'd probably be more interested in talking about the off-grid property he's built and his chicken stuff and all of the other stuff than his congressional. I really don't care about that. Maybe talk about how he got railroaded, but you know. Hey, by the way, anybody seen or heard anything from Mitch McConnell lately? That story disappeared real quick. Is he legit still alive? I don't know. I get a bunch of bullshit in my feed, and I don't really have the patience to decipher through what's real and what's fake. But that story just kind of disappeared out of my feed, and I haven't been keeping track. Are they keeping him? Are they keeping him upright? Has he actually made an appearance or said anything? And if he hasn't, how is somebody not just gone to that hospital and found out if he's fucking alive? Like, is there no one that cares enough? I don't know. Pip says, is that the dude who got killed in Ukraine? But the news said he died over here. No, that's Lindsey Graham. His male escort. His male escort gave a detailed description of Lindsey's undercarriage that I never needed to read. I wish I had. It was one of those like train wreck things. Once I started, I was like, wait, what is this about? Oh no. But yeah, there's definitely some speculation that Lindsey Graham didn't die the way that they said. But no, Pip, that's not him. Mitch McConnell is the senator from Kentucky that before Lindsey went to the Ukraine, Mitch had a tumble and went to the hospital, and they've been saying that he's alive for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. No one's heard from him except some pictures that were obviously to me at least AI generated. So yeah, I don't know. Sitting U.S. senator in the wind, and no one seems to give a fuck enough to go and check at the hospital. I don't know. Where's what is that kid's name? Nick Sherry? Nick? Who's the kid that exposed all the Somali daycares, and now he's over in New York exposing the Medicare stuff? Get him on the case. Oh, maybe after he takes care of that, he can join the Scooby-Doo gang. But yeah, political ads on Tubi, nonetheless. I'm like throwing money at the win there, folks. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, they got it. I guess I don't. What else is on the list here? 2 new videos up this past week. If you want to check them out over on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching on YouTube, be sure after the show's done to stick around and check out the 2 new videos that I posted last week. One was about the Logox. It was basically a review, unboxing. I showed it, took it out of the box, showed how easy it was to put together, assemble, disassemble. Then I jumped out in the woods. I used it for, probably an afternoon, and then came back, circled back, and showed how it works. And it was kind of wonky. I was using a log that probably was a little smaller than I should have been using for for demonstrating it, but that's what I had available at the point. But demoed it and walk through it. And then the other video, which is actually the beginning of a new series that I'm going to be doing, and hopefully put them out weekly on Friday or Saturday around there, talking about the solar field, the solar array, basically, well, probably the whole solar system, hopefully, and then also probably our rainwater system the off-grid systems at the cabin. I'm gonna walk through. They're probably gonna be about 10-minute videos every week, hopefully, and I'm gonna walk through. First video this past week was picking the spot for our panels. I think the one that's going to come up this week is going to be the process I'm using for clearing, not using heavy equipment, and then probably the tools that I'm using will be a next one. But basically, going to go through. I'm going to talk about picking the equipment that I'm going to be using, mounting the panels, the utility shed we're putting together, why. There's going to be a video on why I picked the batteries I'm going to pick and why I picked the inverter and the different things you got to consider. So this is going to be an ongoing series. It's going to be a little delayed from the progress, obviously from it's not going to be up to date like the podcast is. I'm going to still continue to do cabin updates weekly on the show. And but this new series, I'm going to be putting out videos talking about what's been happening since they're going to be evergreen and sit over on YouTube. I'm gonna kind of give myself a little leeway to be behind making videos, so I constantly, hopefully, have new content to make each week for that video. And so that's coming up, and that's going to have a new playlist. I'm going to kind of transition the YouTube channel to that style videos. I'm gonna unless it's a product that I'm using on the property for the project, or it's a piece of equipment that is in one of the system, a component where I'm kind of doing more in-depth reviews. All the little product reviews are going to stick to Amazon now. So that's going to be a change coming up. And then also I've been kind of reformatting this show. I didn't get it done for this week's episode, but man, we're at episode 898. I think next week probably be the same as this week, something similar, and then maybe episode 900 be a good transitioning point where we're gonna really talk more about the cabin, the things about the cabin, the systems, what they kind of provide for me. And then relate that to outside events and kind of dial in the focus to the property. And like I said, Facebook's kind of dragging me down, so I might try to start checking out a little bit, should I say, and which will being less focused on finding stories and things to talk about on the show and being more focused on just talking about what's going on in our build, why we're doing things, and related systems. It makes it easier to not be hunting stuff on social media. So that's kind of my goal, working on the outline and some other things. So hopefully that's all dialed in by episode 900. It'll probably be dialed in. I might do a test run of it next week, but hopefully by episode 900. Episode 900. That's a big number. I was thinking about that the other day, and when I was doing the show 5 days a week, and man, it was a lot. It was a lot. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, for sure. Facebook, man, it's just kind of dragging me down, and got to get out of that. And Corey and I started walking. I looked in the mirror the other day and decided that I'm sick of the way. I looked in the mirror. I looked at a video I made, and I went, man, put a few pounds on there, asshole. I weighed myself this weekend. It actually wasn't as bad as I had expected. It usually is the case. I fear the worst, and I step on the scale, and it isn't quite as bad as I expect, but definitely not where I want to be. So kind of feeling like there's got to be a life switch there. It's been a haul here in the camper. It's been a struggle food wise, and man, with a lot of the stuff that goes on and some different stuff, it's been a time. It's time to realize, I said, middle age is fun, right? Yeah, I mean, it has a little bit to do with middle age. It has a lot to do with bad decisions. Let's put it that way, and a lot of other stuff in my head. So it's time to make a change and make an adjustment. And like I was talking to Corey, it doesn't necessarily work when you try to make little changes. I think in my case right at the moment, it needs to be drastic changes, and so that's across the board in all aspects. And I think social media is probably one that needs to change and change for me. So might have been why I accidentally, unconsciously, subconsciously clicked over on Nostr, and I recalled how much more motivational it was when I used that instead of Facebook and things. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, we're up over an hour here. I got to get rolling. I got the things to do today and a week to get to. I hope you all have a great week and you're productive. Please join us over on the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. You can keep up with us during the week and take part in the shenanigans over there. It's a good time. Martin family says, please don't dye your hair bright red. No, I just cut mine off and go with that. But head on over to that Telegram chat, apply, say join the group. It might be a day, it might be a few hours. I approve all the new members just to make sure we're not getting blasted with spam bots and things like that. I like to take care of my community, and we have a good time over there. Have a good chats and talk about all sorts of different stuff and post funny memes, and it's just a big community. So join us over there. Other than that, I appreciate you listening. Share it with somebody that might find this interesting or useful. Other than that, check out the new videos on the YouTube channel. Share them if you would. All the shares and likes always help. So appreciate you listening again, and have a great week. We'll catch up with you next Monday.